Hello, welcome to the Child Development Homefront Lesson Plan created by student nurses Alia Lee and Rachel Fakel from the College of New Jersey. In this PowerPoint, we'll be discussing baby milestones along with the types of child play expected in each stage of development. The first 3 months consist mainly of sleeping, eating, and crying, but something to look forward to is seeing your baby's first smile, hearing them make their first sounds, and even laugh. By the end of the first 3 months, they become more active and responsive. Their newborn reflexes are lost, and they become more aware of their surroundings. As they explore, they will start to hold their heads up as their muscles strengthen. From clenched fists, they will start to open their hands to grab and battle objects. They will explore their hands by bringing them to their mouths, turn their heads to sounds, and follow moving objects with their eyes. Moving on, in the 4 to 7 months, babies start to learn perceptive abilities of touch, sound, and vision. They develop skills of rolling over, sitting up with support, and then later on without it, and possibly crawling. Not only do they explore hands, but will start to explore objects by putting them in their mouths, by learning to use their fingers and thumbs to claw grip objects. In the previous months, crying was their main source of communication, but now they will express by lowering or raising their voice and start to babble to indicate they are hungry or tired and more. Now that they can lift their heads, they will be able to push their arms to lift their chest, kick their legs when on their back and stomach in preparation for sitting up and strengthening their upper body. In the 8 to 12 months, your baby will start to become more mobile by going in and out of sitting positions, by rolling down to their stomachs. They will also start to crawl and grab at their feet while on their backs. It is important to childproof so your baby can explore safely. As crawling is established, babies start to pull themselves up to a standing position while holding onto support such as furniture. The baby's first steps could be 12 months or later on, which is completely normal. By the end of this stage, they start to hold onto objects with the thumb and the first finger. This is called the pincer grasp. They start to investigate by open, shaking, and banging objects from hand to hand. Regarding language, your baby will begin to say recognizable syllables like ma or da, and later on mama or dada, which usually will be by the end of the 12th month. They can understand the word no and follow simple commands. They mainly communicate non-verbally through pointing and gesturing though. They learn object permanence, which is knowing that this object is still existing when it's taken out of their sight. Separation anxiety also may develop in this period, but may peak at the 9th or 18th month and fades before their 2nd birthday. The next 5 months, your baby will be excited to learn more about the world through its first steps. Your child can walk independently around the 14th month or some as early as 7 months. Babies start to break the bottle habit, transition to a sippy cup, and by the end of this stage, your toddler will start to drink from a real cup, fostering more of their fine and motor skills. Other things you can expect your child understanding simple directions and requests rather than imitating like a newborn does. Using names rather than pronouns will help your child understand you easier. For example, saying the word ball is clearer than saying the word that. You are also expected to see them scribble, play with books, intentionally move objects, recognize themselves, people, and other objects. For language, they might not be able to pronounce things accurately because of the trouble producing sounds like consonants, but it's still a word celebrated. In this stage, your toddlers are in constant motion like running, climbing, jumping, kicking, and dancing. They are perfecting their walk and increasing their vocabulary with 2 to 3 phases and having about a 500-word vocabulary. They can even say their own name. They are now involved in parallel play, which will later involve in playing together and pretend games.
Now I am going to talk about the different types of play infants and children of different ages perform. When children engage in play, they are not just having fun to pass the time, but they're actually learning and growing in their new world. Through the act of playing, children learn and develop motor, cognitive, and social skills during different types of play. I will talk about the different types of play you should expect to see from your child at or by a certain age, either alone or with other children. The first type of play is called unoccupied play. This type of play is seen from birth until around 3 months. This play includes random movements with arms, legs, hands, feet, and even your infant's mouth. Your baby is learning about their body as well as strengthening their gross motor skills. Some examples of unoccupied play include your child sitting in one spot and watching other people move, or simply waving their own arms and legs around, curling their hands into fists, or putting their feet into their mouth. The next type of play, called solitary play, is seen from birth to about 2 years of age. During this stage, your child prefers to play alone and not with others. This is okay, however, because solitary play teaches your child how to be independent and how to self-soothe. Examples of solitary play include using their imagination and motor skills to play with dolls, cars, blocks, stuffed animals, toy figures, play dress-up, color, read, and more. At about 2 years old, your child will also begin to engage in onlooker or spectator behavior. This is when your child begins to watch and observe other children at play, but does not approach them or try to play with them. Your child may also watch adults and see how they play and interact with each other. This observation is a normal stage and very informative for the child, as it allows them to observe rules, gain confidence about how others play, and grow skills through observation. From about 2 years of age or older, children engage in parallel play. This type of play is when your child enjoys playing alongside or near others but does not actually play cooperatively with others. Children enjoy sitting and playing side by side but do not try to influence the play of those beside them. This allows children to develop an awareness of their surroundings, and they may mimic each other. Examples of parallel play would be when children play blocks side by side but do not help each other build, when they separately create art projects, or read different books but near each other. At about 3 or 4 years of age, children begin associative play. This is when your child starts to interact with others during play, but there is still some independence between them or the activities that they are doing. Children may begin working with the same toys or materials and talking to each other, but there is still some degree of independence and separation. For example, when children work together to build a block city, however, they work separately on their own buildings. At age 4 and continuing into their teens and adulthood, children begin cooperative play. When your child is playing with others and is interested in both the game and the participation of the other children in the game. This stage of play sets up your child for interactions as they grow into teens and adults. Examples of cooperative play include building a puzzle together, being on and playing with a sports team like football or tag, playing a board game together, gaming together on an online console, or playing together on the playground. Cooperative play never really ends, as it leads to plain cooperation into your child's adult life. There are some other types of play children should engage in throughout their age groups and development timeframe. Competitive play includes rules, turn-taking, and functioning as a part of a team. This may be during a competitive board game like checkers or on a sports team. Winning and losing helps your child build emotional regulation. Constructive play occurs when your child is using toys or materials to build something or put something together. This play engages your child's cognitive abilities to find solutions. Dramatic or fantasy play is exactly as it sounds, playing pretend. Playing dress up or pretending to be a doctor, spy, cowboy, and more is all part of fantasy play. This helps develop imagination as well as enhances turn-taking, cooperation, sharing, and language development. Physical play is any type of physical activity, like throwing a ball, playing on the playground, or playing sports. This develops fine and gross motor skills as well as encourages physical health. Symbolic play is when children make jokes, sing, rhyme, create art, or make music together. This play helps children learn to express themselves and explore their own ideas and emotions.